Hello survivors, welcome back to Zero to Hero. We are on the next episode and we're going to be playing back on the Pyromancer. That is because last episode we did manage to finish the main skill tree, and what that opened up for us is the main or big character skill tree. Now the way this works is when you get a character to prestige level 21, you start earning skill tree points for that character. So what we've got is our Pyromancer. I just want to show you a couple of things with the Pyromancer in terms of the skill tree. So we're just going to put some points into our skill tree for now. We're going to take all of our ones that affect our Ascension, which is Wrathful Focus, sorry. It's going to cost a little bit of coins and everything, but that's okay, as we need to show you this. So the most important thing that I wanted to show is once you reach 21 points put into the skill tree, so we got 5, 10, 15, 21 points, or 20 points, sorry. So if we actually do that again and we reset it, we go there, we're going to take all of these because they're the most important. So this is 16 points. Now if we add 4 points, so it's 3 points, so it's 5, 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yep, so it's 20 points. Then it opens up the next tier of the skill tree and it also unlocks a rune. That is true for every single one of the tiers, and there are going to be all of them up to, I think 81 is the last time that you get the final rune for each character. So 81 prestige is the most important to get all 3 runes. But the most important thing about the actual tree itself is going to be this node over here, this one right here. Now as you can see, it actually has a different hue or different color to all the other skill tree nodes. So you notice that these ones have just the gray border around them, but this one over here has got that blue border around it. It also got the little sharp edges, and it kind of looks a little bit different. That is because this node over here is going to affect every single character in your repertoire. So it increases the critical strike chance by an additional 1%, but this effect is applied to every single one of our characters. So if we go and increase this, now every single one of our characters has 5% increased critical strike chance. So when you're doing your tree, especially when you're lacking resources, the most important thing is to focus on these nodes first, especially if that's what if you want to make all your characters more powerful. So if you want to go from like level 1 on a character to level something in Titan Hunt or something like that, you want to make sure that your skill tree has these points in them for all your other characters when you're trying to get another character maxed out. So that's what I've gone for. We're going to be using our Ascension quite a bit here, so I wanted points in our Ascension and I wanted points in the critical strike chance for future videos coming forward. But today we are going to be playing on the Pyromancer. Runes don't matter so much. Again, we don't really have that many unlocked, which we will be getting into very soon. But the most important thing is to play with the Pyromancer. What we can do here is actually... do we have that rune unlocked yet? No, we don't. So it doesn't really help doing the unexpected arsenal. So that's fine. It would make it a lot easier if we did, because we'd be able to unlock our the other weapons and more skills. But unfortunately, because we don't have to worry about that just yet. So we're going to be doing the Unholy Cathedral because there are characters we need to unlock. So we're going to be doing the Ritual of Sin today. It's going to be the first one that we do. It's a little bit easier than the other difficulties. Now, there is some caveat with this. It does actually mention it in the corner over here. No, it doesn't. Let's just go back there so we can read it, because it does mention it in the start of the game. If you go over here and you click on the cathedral, over here it says you venture into the Unholy Cathedral to disrupt dark rituals, fight against servants of ancient evil, and master the technique of each void hunter in the process. We need to defeat the challenge, defeat 4 challenges to face off against the heretic. All your powers and skills are removed after each challenge. What that means is they are removed from the game, not just from your character. So if you take very powerful skills in the very first round, you are going to lose those skills for the boss fight. So make sure that you do not use powerful skills in the very beginning, because each stage gets harder and harder, even though you do get passive power-ups. Oh, it actually does mention it. All active skills that are used are banished for the rest of the match, and you cannot be picked up again. Each ritual is harder than the last, but also provides greater rewards. So we're going to go and do that. I want to show you a couple of tricks and a couple of things to note. You'll notice our life is only 90. One thing about this is that every single passive that we're going to be picking up is going to be removed as well. So we don't need to pick up HP or block or any of those lovely things that we would otherwise take, you know. So we don't need any of that. The most important thing is going to be skills and just damage upgrades, critical strike, all those passive synergies that increase, you know, skills and things like that. But the reason we're actually using the Pyromancer is because of her ascension. We're going to try and push as far as we can without even using any skills. We'll just use our ascension. I mean, you can see already just how powerful it is, and it's actually quite kind of gross. You know, there you go. There's bosses being absolutely melted, and again, we haven't even leveled up a single time. All we're doing right now is we are playing with the ascension, which happens over here. So the higher the level of your Pyromancer, the better it is, because your ascension actually lasts longer, deals more damage, it does more. But my Pyromancer wasn't that high level, so obviously we didn't really get that going. But you can see we as long as we dodge spells, we're able to do this. We could go a lot faster if we did decide to use other spells, but I thought it'd be quite fun to use just our ascension so that you could see it happening and that you could understand. We do only have 6 bosses that we need to defeat in the very first ritual. The higher you go in the ritual, I believe, the more bosses you do have to defeat as well. So just remember that. And it doesn't look like we are able to defeat the second boss. So let's start adding some skills. Again, all this stuff doesn't really count. If you banish a skill, it does count. So if I banish Leviathan, you will never see it again. So what we can do is then banish things like block and that kind of stuff now. There's no point in taking fire damage, so we're going to grab the damage. Again, like I mentioned, we don't want skills that we want for further things. So Meteor Shower is a really good skill. Deals damage based on the number of stacks of burn that we apply, so that's a really good one for the final boss. So we'll take Arcane. Surge there. Wrathful Focus is going to be really good. Movement speed. We'll take a Chaotic Bolt because it's not so great. We want the burn for later. And we can grab a Magnetic and some more movement speed. Those are some really good skills, so we want to reroll and take the Arcane over there. Deathclaw. We're just taking nonsense right now. It doesn't really matter. It's just skills that I don't want to use in future because they're going to be doing a lot of damage for us. So we just take the weakest skills that I can think of, although these skills technically aren't that weak. Compared to some of the others that we can use, they are going to be very, very weak. Okay, next boss is over here. And then again, I mean, it doesn't really matter because as long as we get our ascension up, you can see just how much damage we do to the bosses. And the reason for that is because our ascension actually applies Shattered, even though it doesn't mention it anywhere. It is a tooltip bug, but we actually apply Shattered with our ascension. And the nice thing is you can actually get buffs to your ascension as you're playing. So you are able to increase the amount of concentration you get, or whatever the case may be. And that's going to allow you to get it faster. It's allowed to make it stronger by increasing the critical hit damage and things like that. So you can get your ascension to be really strong, even though it's already at a very powerful stage. But if you wanted it to be even stronger, just focus on those skills. Perfect, we have our first cycle down. We come through to the middle over here, and it's kind of like Titan Hunt now. We go through the portal and we're given a choice for a brand new upgrade. So we can increase critical hit damage, we can do damage modifiers, we can do cast frequency. In our case, I think the damage modifier is going to be very powerful because I believe this should affect our Draconic Flames damage as well, because this is a damage modifier on top of this. So it's going to be 26%. Let's just check if it's additive or multiplicative. And that was multiplicative, I believe, because we were on 69 if I saw correctly there before. and that is very powerful. So now we can focus. We're going to keep Meteor, we're going to keep Shadowbolt and Meteor for the final level. Ooh, even Arcane Beam is really good there. Oh man, so many good options actually. So let's take the bad options now, and we will grab some powerful ones later. So Death Vortex, Void is bad. We'll grab Firebolt. So these are okay. There's nothing wrong with these skills, but there are definitely much better ones. I thought this was the boss we were fighting. So the way that I actually don't think I have the visuals turned up all the way either. So let's do that, because I don't think we're in danger of missing anything. A Relentless is good. We can just upgrade everything for here. It doesn't really matter. But you'll notice we won't see any of these skills again in the entire round. So you do have to be careful of what skills you get and what you don't get, and going from there. So you can actually see our passive changes at the bottom over there. They no longer have the ones that we chose previously. They've only got the skills that we just took as we leveled up. Okay, Relentless is good. Multicast, Critical Strike chance. That doesn't, I mean, we can grab it, but it's not going to make any difference to us. We don't want to banish necessarily those things, because you do want them to show up on the final boss fights sometimes. But there's no chance to really stack disarray and things like that. These are normally very fast fights, and you want your level ups to have more power to them. So you don't necessarily worry about that kind of stuff. Okay, we do have our Ascension back up. We just wanted to get rid of, or make sure we don't get hit by anything from the boss. Our Ascension does burn as well, so you don't necessarily need to worry about a skill that applies burn if you want to run Meteor later. But we definitely do, so we're going to grab it. Some other things to kind of get rid of. I don't think crit is going to matter too much. We're not going to be able to reach a high crit. Area of effect, I don't think we really need that, nor do we need armor. So you do, again, want to just remove things that you think you're not really going to use much. And you, well, movement speed we are going to use. And magnetic you could also probably get rid of, to be honest, because the speed that you go through these levels at, and the amount of XP gain, you can see we're only level 17. So I mean, I'm not the best at this. I do know someone who's done thousands of levels on a ritual, so we can always ask them for advice or what they do. But I do know that they use the Pyromancer as their main character for ritual because of how powerful they are. Alright, that was the ritual done. We're just going to use up these level ups, which I probably shouldn't have done. Oh no, it gives you level ups. There we go, we get 7. So now we've got area increase. We can lose area and get even more damage, which I believe is going to be even better. So we're going to grab that. And now we can grab some other things. So we'll grab Meteor. We're going to keep Flamethrower. So this round we'll go with lightning skills. We want those. I thought I locked the skill, but apparently I never. We'll go Lightning Beam, Chain Lightning. We can grab a Flame Weave, why not? And we can grab the... Ooh, what do we grab here? Let's grab ourselves the... I don't think we'll use Firewall. Okay, which is going to be the first boss. It looks like it's this guy. Alright, so now you can actually see we've got skills that are slightly stronger. So we don't actually need our Ascension this time to defeat the bosses, which is fantastic. But obviously we will receive our Ascension and it will obviously poke a lot faster and harder. So there's our Ascension. Now I don't use auto aim. I mean, I do use auto aim, but when you're fighting the bosses and things like that, I put manual aim on by right clicking or holding down right click, and that allows me to focus then on the bosses, especially with our Ascension, because that's going to allow us to defeat them a lot quicker. Whereas if we had our auto aim on, our Ascension's just going to go for the closest thing to us, and a lot of the time the enemy isn't necessarily focused by the boss. So you do land up losing a lot of damage that way, and we don't want that, so we land up focusing with our manual aim just to ensure that we're able to defeat the bosses a whole lot quicker. Alright, let's go area of effect, damage. We can take one magnetic, it's fine. Multicast, damage, we're getting some really good passives over here. I wonder if we can get an electric proc to happen. We cannot, but we do get the ascension running again. Now we did lose a bit of area of effect, and that's why Firewall looks so tiny, and that's okay. Even our ascension is very tiny, but like I just mentioned, it's fine, it's not the end of the world. The most important part is that we actually hit the bosses and stuff with it. Although it looks like we should probably grab some area increase. As there are a lot of enemies around us. So we'll grab more movement speed, more cast speed, and increases to everything else.
The pyre grows, let them cower.
And then the final round will go really quickly because we're going to be using very strong skills that the Pyromancer has the opportunity, or that has in her skill list. Alright, so that's done. Fantastic, we don't need to use the level ups. And this will be the last one and the final round before the boss. So I think over here, I'm not going to lose the HP, guys. It might be worth it to actually grab HP, so let's do that. And then we want Arcane Beam. We want, oh, you can't lock in this game mode. Shadow Orb, Flamethrower, Combustion, Meteor, and Magic Missile. And we just grabbed some HP because, yeah, we are not very healthy at all. And then also, if you wanted, you can remove the HP mod from the game and it would still be fine. So we can stack as much cast frequency as possible on everything, and that's going to allow us to get far more damage. Obviously multicast and damage on the skills Meteor Shower. The damage on Meteor Shower, multicast and cast frequency on everything. Meteor Shower is kind of random with where it hits. There are ways to manipulate that, but that is a way that we don't have access to right now. So we can't worry about that just yet. Okay, unfortunately this boss spins around, so we had to wait till he stopped spinning so we could get closer to him. We've got Arcane Knowledge, Multicast, HP, Health is good here, Cast Frequency, Damage on the Meteor Shower, Cast Frequency on everything. Area of Effect on Combustion would be good as well. Actually thinking about my Ruin choice as well as taking that negative area of effect was actually very, very bad just because of the way that it all works. You can actually see how it's hurting us more than helping us by having less area of effect. But that should be defeated, and now I hope I got this right, because otherwise we're in trouble now. No, we did get it right. Boss spawns. It's Matthias the Heretic. Interesting, note about Matthias is it's actually named after one of the developers in the game. Actually, all of the Lords of the Void are named after developers. So if you go take a look at the official Discord, you can see the names of all the developers, or if you've seen the credits in the game, you'll notice that the Lords of the Void, except for the Prophetess, for some reason, that's been kept as a secret, and we actually have no idea who the Prophetess is named after. But otherwise, everyone else is named after Dev to some extent. A cool little fight over here. Now we've got to dodge all the lasers. While still hitting him with flamethrower, so we get to apply all that juicy burn. And there is another ability that he uses, but we should be able to not even have to worry about it. Maybe he doesn't use it on this difficulty, actually. It doesn't look like he does. Ow, we just got whacked into everything. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So that's how you defeat Ritual of the Unholy Cathedral. I thought it would be really cool to show you guys how to do it from, you know, a character. We defeated it, which unlocked the new game mode, the Titan Hunt game mode for us. And it was supposed to also unlock another character, which didn't seem to actually happen for us. Ritual of Hate and Ritual of Heresy. So we still need to go and do the Ritual of Hate and then the Ritual of Heresy to unlock the characters. And we've now unlocked the Sigil of Corruption, so we can also do the next two sigils, Sigil of Wickedness and the Sigil of Corruption, Vileness and Wickedness, to unlock these three characters. So these 5 characters we're going to unlock very soon. What we're going to do is actually get to the Samurai, the most important for what we want to do next, as well as the Arcane Weaver and the Legionnaire. So let's just quickly unlock all of these characters, those two, because we do need them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this. Don't be scared to ask anything in the comment section or on my Discord, and always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.